as I said earlier, I was going to come back to the council and ask if you guys are willing to allow us to have an open session with your council meetings going forward, where we provide the equipment to allow you guys to be online at your meetings. And, you know, I know, as I've talked to some of you, you have expressed, you know, your trepidation in doing this, and I can understand that. I know that as the council members, you want to be open to the community and transparent, and that you would like people to come down to the city hall and be a part of the council meetings. I think the fact that we're on Zoom tonight is an indication that this is kind of the thing of the future, where people have access to this, you know, these kind of meetings via the internet, and it gives an opportunity for elderly people who don't want to go out in the cold and the ice and the snow to be able to be a part of the community without having to trudge down the cold to the city hall. But I know from when I sat on the council, it is challenging when you have the public that's right in front of you and you're making decisions to have, it kind of brings on a different tone than when you're here with an empty group, which sometimes, a lot of times you are. But I think it's one of those things where I know when I sat on the council and people were in the room, I had a much easier tendency to put my biases and my own personal opinions behind me and really look to what the people was in the best interest of the people. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do, is bring the community closer together. And that's why we're requesting we have access to your meetings on Tuesday nights.
Council got any comments, thoughts?
How much of a burden is it going to put on, like, Sandy to have to set it up every time we do council meeting?
I will have it set up so that all she has to do, we'll give a laptop to you guys and a fixed camera that would go in the corner. So all she'd have to do is take the laptop, plug it into the camera, and the audio would be there set up, and then she just hit the button and it goes on, and then she just hits the button that goes off when you go to an executive session or something like that. But we donate all the equipment.
Okay, so my opinion is I hate Zoom meetings, even though I should like them because then I wouldn't have to be around. But I like being able to see the people and talk to the people and see their faces, and a person's expressions mean a lot. If you're on like this, it doesn't mean anything. So that's my only problem with this, or a live stream or whatever.
Yeah, well, with the live stream, you wouldn't be seeing anybody, and I'll give you the downside to it is that you don't know who's on or who's not on, or who is on. So it's just it's open to the public.
Jeff, how are you gonna do those? When you say you're gonna live stream it, is it gonna be closed caption? Is it gonna be our closed circuit? Is it gonna be live? As far as like, I can only watch it when it's live.
It would be live, and then it would be archived. We'd archive it like on an archive, like anything else that we archive that we do. It just goes into an archive.
So I can go to the paper. If I subscribe to the paper, I can go to it and get it, but only if I subscribe.
No, if you want it on your computer, you can come on our site without paying anything. It's a free site, so you have anyone can have access to our site. Anyone, including the Tricoms.
Well,
democracy in action.
What's that?
Was bleeding over.
Okay, so my concern is if we're all on camera, I guarantee I'm going to be super careful what I say, or I'm not saying anything. Are we all going to be the same way? So the meeting will be done fast and we won't accomplish anything, or that's just a concern I have.
Hey, Jeff, I have a question too. We're talking about, tonight's format is interactive. The broadcast, the live streaming you're talking about doing is for viewing purposes only. Is that right? And so
Yes.
if anyone wanted to participate, if they were on the agenda or if they wanted to participate in a public hearing, then they would need to still come and attend in person, or like we're doing it tonight.
Yes,
So
they'd have to do it.
Okay,
They'd have
that
to
was
be
just one
present at the
clarification I
meeting.
wanted.
No, it would be, it'd just be like the city of Idaho Falls, city of Hammond, it's just viewing, they just stream it to a Facebook or to a YouTube channel, one of the two. We would stream it directly to YouTube, our YouTube channel. We have to have 1,000 individuals join it before we can do that. So what we would do is we would stream it onto Facebook, and then it would then we'd store it. We'd store it on our site. So it would be archived. If that's problematic for the council, we'll archive it, but we won't make it public. I mean, if that's
Well, and I don't have issues with it, as much as I guess the mayor has issues with being on the video. But the question I have then becomes, so you're going to stream it live, and then you're going to have it up on Facebook. Is it going to be on Facebook Live when we're in the meeting, or is it going to be posted on your site as a Facebook, on the Facebook side of the Community Pioneer?
And it would be, you'd be able to watch it on the app. You'd be able to watch it on Facebook.
At the time of the meeting or later?
At the time of the meeting, and then later it would be on YouTube.
Okay, so the only issue I have with that is I've been on Idaho Falls, I've been on Rexburg's, I haven't been on Ammons, I've been on Pocatello's when they Facebook Live them, and the amount of comments that I don't believe ever get back to the council or others, but they're out there in the ether of those who want to have an opinion or form an opinion or make an opinion. Is there any way, and this is for you guys on the council, is there any way that you guys would approve that or like to do that? Because, and seeing some of the comments from Rexburg's mask mandate viewing, which was a horrific meeting in and of itself, but to watch the comments that went through there, knowing that those people would not have attended and were not standing outside protesting, as it were, but they made, there was thousands and thousands of people and thousands of comments that were not all positive.
Just so you know, Leif, I just received this information from my editor. It will go on our YouTube channel, and it will be live during the meeting on the YouTube channel, and that's where it will be. Now, is my understanding, unless Mike, who's on here listening as well, tells me otherwise, I believe we can turn off comments to that live stream if that's an issue for the council.
I'm just asking the council. I don't have an issue with it as long as we had access to see some of the comments and so that we can, make sure that we can defend our position or maybe enlighten those who don't know.
We can turn it off, and that way it won't become an issue. That's just something. That's not a problem. I understand what you're saying.
I agree with that. I agree with Leif, because I think there's a lot of people that will hide behind the screen that wouldn't necessarily say stuff that really would be degrading to the city, but they wouldn't come to the meeting and say that. But they'll say it behind the screen, and I agree with Leif. I don't necessarily like the comments. I guess I don't mind the live streaming and they can watch it, but as far as commenting and those kinds of things, I'm not with that.
Well, we would turn off the comments. We'd make that a condition that the comments would be turned off. That's not a problem. And to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with that either, because I don't want to degrade my site with
trolls. There's the word you're looking for.
The word for it. That's appropriate word. Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be informational. I don't care. I don't want it to be opinion based.
Hey, Jeff, along those lines, again, just to be clear, this would not be a city-sponsored site. You're just asking permission for your media group, right, to be able to come in and broadcast it in a like just as an observer in the corner. So the city doesn't have to manage it. The city doesn't have to.
Nope.
We'll still keep our own records to comply with the public records laws and all that sort of thing. We'll take care of that, but we don't have to babysit this, I guess.
Nope, the equipment will be ours. You'll utilize it. It'll be just like the camera, the Blackfoot Chamber of Commerce, and in the Bingham County Commissioners Chamber, and it's ran by the Blackfoot Morning News. So all that you would have to do is just start and stop it, and live stream, and that would be it. The rest would be our responsibility. And I strongly encourage that we would keep the comments up. I don't want it to be an opinionated type of thing. I want it to be more informational. You know, the whole reason for bringing this is we just want to bring the community closer together. It's an opportunity for people to see what's going on if they choose to join. It's, for example, you know, we're trying to live stream basketball games that people can't go to. We're trying to live stream everything that we can right now, especially with COVID. And it's just for the benefit of the people at home, giving them the opportunity, if they choose to step in and look, to be able to see what goes on at City Hall.
My opinion is I don't think I would mind the live streaming, but to have it for them to go on YouTube so people can keep on looking. I guess I feel like if they have a desire to know what's going on, they can join in and watch that evening, but to have it available continually. I don't want to be a YouTube star, Jeff.
We don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, Kim, but you know what? Our meetings are boring enough. I doubt, unless there's some major controversy going on, no one's going to want to see it. I'm going to burst your bubble there, but.
I know, but you know how people perceive different, like I could say something and Adam could take it one way and the mayor could take it the other way. I wouldn't want something to come back to, you know, bite any of us in the butt. Like I said, well, I don't have a binding with that doing live stream. If they want to come in and watch the live stream while we're doing it, that's great.
And that's fine. We could I mean, we could leave it up for a week and then we can take it down and archive it and hide it. I mean, I would like to keep the information just for historical purposes, but we could leave it up for a week, maybe. Would that be okay or no? I mean, just give people the opportunity to be able to see what happens at council meeting or.
Meeting's already being recorded by the city. I think that's my 2 cents. It's just up to you guys. It's going to, if somebody wants to get a copy, they can come get it from the city. If you have it on your site, maybe that's a service, saves the city some hassle, but either way, it should still be available to the public.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Okay.
Well, Earl. Somebody talk.
Mayor, like most things, just a reminder to the council, like most things, you know, you don't have to take action on things tonight. You can table this. You can think about it some more. I'm not trying to discourage you either, though. If you want to make a decision tonight, go ahead. But I'm guessing from the silence that people are kind of letting this percolate a little bit. And so maybe they want a little more time.
Well, I think what Jeff is doing is really honorable. I like the fact that he's trying to do the public meetings and the basketball games and all that kind of stuff, especially in the way that we are and this epidemic is going on. I'm just not sure. I like to see people. I don't want people to come in and look at them, you know, because it's a lot easier just to, if they're not there, it's really easy to just do whatever you want. But if people are there, you're trying to please, you're trying to give them the best answer you can. I don't know. There's something about, I'm not a big fan of the internet anyway. You guys know that. I'm old school. But I really appreciate the fact that Jeff's trying to do this. I'm just not sure that I would like it to happen. That's all I got.
Well,
I think if somebody, I'll go ahead, Leif.
oh no, you go ahead. You got going first.
I think it's something, if it's something on the agenda that somebody really wants to talk about and to see something get worked on it, they'll come into the meeting. I think the streaming service is just for people's information, people to watch, to kind of keep track of what's going on in the city. I'm actually okay with the streaming without the comments, and I'm not so sure about the archiving or having it available after the fact.
So you would want it just during the live stream, and then that would be it?
I mean, can you go back on all the other council meetings that are out there, all the other cities? Can you go back to the meetings and watch them?
I think some cities you can, yes. Others I'm not sure of. I know, I believe you can on Ammons. I'm not sure on Idaho Falls.
So BJ, has that become a liability, or is it just under the open meeting laws that it's okay to have that, right?
Yeah, no, it's my opinion that really they're just asking for permission and the city's cooperation, but this is not a city deal. It doesn't affect what the city's going to do, how they're going to do it. It's really not it's really just whether or not the city wants to cooperate with Jeff's group and views it like a public service of some sort. But as far as what they do with the meeting, I mean, the meeting is what the meeting is. And like I said, regardless of whether they record it or archive it, the city's got to keep records of it. We have a transcript of every meeting. We have minutes from every meeting. And if somebody wants to, we don't do video of every meeting. But as far as what is said, we've already got an obligation to preserve that, and we do. And so I just think the real question here is whether or not we want to let them set up their equipment, whether or not we want to turn it on and off when we're having our meetings, and whether or not you view it as enough of a public benefit to justify that. So
I have something. You know, we're all thinking about ourselves and like people commenting on us and what we're doing, and we're trying to do our best here. But what about those people that come in that are asking for, you know, the sidewalks, and like they're in hardships, and you know, we've had some people come to us that maybe they don't want to be out there. You know, it's safer for them to come to a small meeting and ask the council for something, but you know, maybe they don't want it all over on Facebook Live.
Well, it's not really Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube, so they'd have to get to it from their side.
It'd be on YouTube.
There's ways to find it. I think that same way too, though, Kim, is that who's it going to benefit? And I think maybe if Chuck knows how to unmute his phone, maybe he would give us a comment, because he seems to join all the calls that are streamed. So Chuck, do you think it's advantageous for your family or other people that live here and that move during the seasons that want to know what's going on in the city?
I like the idea of it. I like it when I want to watch it, whether I'm in town or out of town. I like the idea. I don't want to be able to comment on anything. I just want to see what's going on. And I'm not able to be at city council.
So there you have it from the public, at least the one that we see a lot of when he's in town, and a couple times when he hasn't been.
Well, and Jeff did make the comment that he was looking for the older people that can't make it out.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
falls into that too.
Chuck, I didn't say that. That was there.
BJ, is there any liability for those people that show up that don't want to be publicly on? Do you know what I'm saying? Is there liability there?
No, there's none there for them.
no, they're
in a public setting.
It's a public meeting. They wouldn't have any more or less liability if it's being streamed or if it's not being streamed. They do have additional exposure. I mean, that's really, but as far as liability goes, I don't see any issue there.
Okay.
All right.
I heard from Sandy. Sandy, what do you think?
What do I think? I'm sitting here thinking of certain things that are addressed at a public meeting that maybe all the information, maybe somebody watches one public meeting and gets a glimpse of something that's been being discussed for several public meetings. They get that glimpse, and sometimes you can perceive or read into things that may not be true. And so I think that it could cause some people to get upset when there really isn't a reason, because they don't have all the information just by the little bits they may get from this meeting or that meeting. That's the only thing I can see that could be an issue.
And that's why we would keep online, so people could go back if they wanted to and follow an issue. Several different meetings in the past. I mean, I just got an update here from Mike. He's telling me that even Idaho Falls does the same as Ammons. They archive online all their meetings so that people can just go back and see what it is. I mean, I think you're reading into it a little bit more than what the public's going to make it complicated. I mean, I think most of the people that are going to view this are probably going to be the more elderly, unless you have a big issue, unless you have a gate. You guys put a gate up, then all bets are off. You're they're probably not going to stay online. They're probably going to come through the front door on that one.
So when we talked about there was one meeting, this is an example, and we didn't even have it live streamed. There was one meeting that we talked about, I wonder how much it would cost to put water meters in. That got put in the paper. We had tons of calls of people mad because the city was thinking about putting water meters in. That wasn't even the case. But some people get a thought in their mind, they just get mad. They're going to go back and research it. They're going to be calling here mad saying, what are you doing? How come that development is going in my area? When maybe we haven't even set up the plan yet, just like the plan east of town. I've been getting calls on that. Well, is it going to go next to my house? Well, where's the street going to be? Okay, that isn't even on the table yet. I don't even have a preliminary plat, but we still get that. I think we'll see more and more of that.
Well, you may and you may not. I mean, it's just like if some individual came to one meeting now and sat in the chamber and then walked out, it'd be no different than that. I mean, they take away the same information, limited information. I mean, it's the same whether they're here or not.
And that's true, but you're going to get those occasional people that come to City Hall to get that. When it's live streamed, you're going to get 100 times that many, or 10 times, or 20 times that many. You're going to get a lot more.
You may.
Oh, okay, so I would say let's, if the council's okay with it, we can try it. We can always take it out, but
you can always yank it out.
Yeah, and I'm not against doing it. If the public wants to see what's going on, I'm all for the public seeing what's going on. So
could we pass something that would be, it'd be like a temporary, let's say for the next 3 months or something, we let it go and we see, and then we revisit it in 3 months. Can we do something like that, or is?
If you make a motion like that, yes.
So I'll make a motion that we go ahead and allow the streaming service of our meetings, except for comments, to Jeff's group for 3 months, and then at 3 months we'll revisit it and see how it's going.
I'll second it.
Okay, so moved and seconded.
Before you finalize that motion, is it okay if we keep it up for just a week and then take it down and archive it?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
All right. So it's moved and seconded that we go ahead and let them do it for 3 months, and then we'll take a look at it. So with that being said, Adam, you for or against?
For.
Kim.
Aye.
Earl.
Aye.
Leif.
Aye.
All right, 4 ayes. I guess go ahead and do it.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks,
very much.
Jeff.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jeff.
Jeff.